Hey everybody, it's another week and another round of Commitment to Traders analysis is complete. And this video is going to just cover currencies. So you'll know that the last few weeks I've been looking to short a number of currencies and go long the US dollar. That trade has been playing out and is well underway. That trend change happened and the dollar is strong and heading up. My list this week for Commitment to Traders trades is quite short compared to some weeks. There's just not a lot of extremes in positioning that are present across any of these markets. So you'll see over here, my list is pretty short, and I only have one currency that's set up for longs. Now, longing a foreign currency when the US dollar is so strong is, a questionable decision. Now, I don't have the US dollar set up for longs anymore this week, and I'm going to just briefly show you that over here on this other charting platform here. So you'll see that we have the US dollar commercial positioning index here showing still it's in a buy zone. But the only thing that I'm not super happy about is the fact that the advisor sentiment, which is this green line, is now very bullish. So I don't like the advisors, or when the advisors are this bullish, it is quite possible that we get a pullback. So, that being said, let's just look at the Mexican peso. So the Mexican peso has been set up for longs for a number of weeks. Interestingly, with the dollar being as strong as it is, we can see that the Mexican peso has just kind of been in this little range here being accumulated. So we have the Commitment of Traders Commercial Index right here showing us that the commercials relative to the last 6 months are still very long this market. So that is supportive of our trade idea to go long the Mexican peso. And basically, if we were to look at open interest and the price action, we can see down here at the bottom of the screen, the black line is open interest. So we can see as prices come down for months here, that open interest has declined as well. So the large speculators and the small speculators just not involved in this market right now. But when we see the open interest declining, but the commercials heavily buying that decline in price, that is something we pay attention to. That is a setup for longs. We also see relatively long positioning here. And if we look at the small speculators, which is this green line here, the small speculators are still relatively short relative to the last 3 years. Last time they were this short was back here in December of 2021, and again back here in May of 2020. So it is a pretty extreme and short position being held by the small speculators. So that is another supportive aspect to our trade to go long the Mexican peso. Now, the small speculators are also still relatively quite short relative to the last 6 months of positioning, which is this index up here. We see we're below this red line, which indicates relative to the last 6 months, they're still at an extreme in their short positioning. They're not the shortest, which was right here, but they're still under this red line, which is another check mark in our list of things we look for to qualify us for having a setup market. Now, we also have valuation. If I open up the Mexican peso rolling contracts, which is right here, we can see that there's still an undervaluation right here relative to the price of gold. Actually, I didn't need to do that. This is on the regular or the front month delivery contract at December. We can see this gold line here is this indicator here tells us whether or not this market is over or undervalued relative to the price of gold and to the US Treasury. So we're still undervalued relative to the price of gold. So that's another check mark on our list of things that we look for to qualify us to have a setup market. So to be clear, this market is set up for for longs, but it does not mean we're triggered in. We need an entry trigger on the daily time frame to take this trade. This was set up last week, and I decided not to do it because I figured the US dollar was going to have a really strong week, and that was the right call. Still going to watch this one this week for longs. There is also divergence on the momentum indicator. If we go over here, take a look at momentum, which is at the bottom of the screen, we can see that there's momentum divergence set up, but it is not triggered. So we can see price making a higher low while the momentum made a lower low. So this indicator here, this oscillator would need to close above this level here, which I've kind of roughly marked with this blue line down here, for this divergence to confirm. So that's it for currencies. Very quiet week for me in regards to my commitment to trader strategy. Very few setups, which is okay. I can take a little breather for a week and wait for the prime opportunities to present themselves. So if you have any questions about commitment of traders or any of the strategies that I teach on my channel, you can shoot me a message. If you liked this, please like, subscribe, and share. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Thanksgiving if you live in Canada like I do. And thanks again for listening.